Let's add a new argument to the Goku versus Saitama debate. Goku doesn't lose against Saitama, and I'm not saying he wins, but at the very least he doesn't lose to Saitama because the way the story is designed, Goku always wins. Hear me out. I'm not giving Goku plot armor, right? You guys are going to argue that, oh, but if the way the story is designed, if we're basing it off the story, then Deku beats Goku. No. First of all, you're smart enough to know that even with plot armor, Deku stands no chance against Goku. But second, the reason I'm saying that the way the story is written is linked with Goku is literally because that is his character, right? Goku's entire motto is not losing because he will continue to get the strength to defend what he values. He will continue to have the strength to defend his universe. He will continue to have the strength to defend his family. He will continue to have the strength to defend what he cares about. That is Goku's character. It's associated with him. You can't remove that from him, and that's very important. Now, an example you could bring up of Goku losing is when he died against Cell. That is a fair point, but in that, Akira Toriyama actually had a different goal for the story. Gohan was going to be the main character, and it was going to be a beautiful contrast between Gohan's pacifism and his potential for destruction. That is what was going to happen. So Akira Toriyama literally had a different writing agenda in Dragon Ball, which is why Goku died. Goku literally only died because Akira Toriyama wanted him to die. And guess what? He came back with the Dragon Balls. Now the Dragon Ball part doesn't really matter to this argument, but what I'm getting at is that Goku always wins because of the writing, and he will constantly find a new power which allows him to defend his values, to defend his friends, to defend his family, to defend his planet. We've seen this multiple times in the anime. Multiple times. Goku's desire to defend what he values makes Goku constantly break his limits. What does this mean? This means that when Frieza was introduced, Krillin died. Goku needed a strength to make sure that other people that he valued and cared about, Gohan, Chi-Chi, Bulma, Piccolo, didn't die. He unlocked Super Saiyan. Now let's look at Battle of Gods, right? Goku acquired Super Saiyan God because he wanted to defend his planet. And even though Goku wasn't strong enough to beat Beerus still let it slide. Why? Because Akira Toriyama has an agenda for Goku where he can't lose. Let's look at Dragon Ball Super. In Dragon Ball Super, Goku was fighting Hit. Wow, he has Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan? That's not enough. Let's use Kaioken. Goku acquires a new type of transformation. Let's look at the Tournament of Power. Goku wasn't strong enough to beat Jiren with his current power level. He got Ultra Instinct. There is a trend in Dragon Ball where every time there's something that threatens what Goku loves and cares about, he gets a new power. So think about it this way. If Saitama were to come in, right, and threaten Goku's family, threaten his planet, threaten what he cared about, Goku, because of the way the story is written, will break his limits until he is strong enough to beat Saitama. That's the argument. Goku's desire, Goku's writing is a part of his character. And because of that, he will eventually be strong enough in the fight, in the time span of the fighting scene, to the point where he can beat Saitama. Let's understand why limits, limiters, etc. are so important in this debate. Let's look at the definition of a limiter. A limiter is a theoretical barrier that restricts the physical growth of a being. According to this theory, a deity placed a growth limitation on every being to prevent them from losing purpose. No matter how much one grows, they will eventually hit this upper limit where there is no potential to develop further strength. However, it is possible for an individual to remove their limiter, which results in the development of immeasurable strength. Okay, essentially, a limiter is something that removes your potential for growth. Removing this limiter means that you have potential to be infinitely powerful. Let's look at the definition again more closely. They will eventually hit this upper limit where there is no potential to develop further strength. No potential to develop further strength. Removing the limiter means that you have infinite potential to be infinitely strong. This means that you will continue to get stronger and stronger and stronger. You will become strong to the point where 600-pound deadlifts are nothing to you. You'll become strong to the point where you can jump from one continent to the other. I don't know if that's possible, but that's what removing the limiter does. Removing the limiter lets you have the potential to be infinitely powerful. Saitama has removed his limiter, which means he has the potential to be infinitely powerful. Now, you guys are going to say, since Saitama removed his limiter, that means that he is already infinitely powerful. No. And even if he was already infinitely powerful, which he is not, let's look at why Goku still contends with Saitama. We already established that the way Goku is written, he just doesn't lose. And because there's always a threat that's stronger than the previous one, he has to break through his limits. Because of this, you could argue that Goku also doesn't have a limiter. The limiter says it is possible for an individual to remove their limiter, which results in the development of immeasurable strength. Has Goku not developed immeasurable strength because he has constantly broken through his limits? To say no means you're delusional. Goku has acquired immeasurable strength because he constantly breaks through his limits, which means that when you put Goku and Saitama together, one person who doesn't have a limiter and another person that constantly breaks through their limiter until they win, the fight isn't that simple. You have to understand the context between the characters' two powers. And that's why Goku just doesn't lose to Saitama. Am I saying Goku wins? No. But if you think Saitama will one-punch Goku into oblivion, you got a different story coming. Thanks for watching.